So this is going to be one of the parts of the video for LIs. So I don't know how we're going to want to do this. First thing is you're going to log in and you're going to be like, oh, there's new legendary items. How do I do it? There's going to be no notification, no nothing. And really it's kind of funny because they're just like, yeah. The first thing you're going to want to do before you do anything else, any of your characters that are over level 45 that have a legendary item or multiple legendary items equipped or leveling, you're not going to be able to level them up anymore. So you're going to want to hit Shift I. And you open up your legendary item tab here. And then you're going to have all these legendary items unlocked. There's going to be a button down here that says Appraise. You're going to click on that. It's going to give you some items, which are going to be here in my bag 6. Right? So these are upgrade items and barter items. You also get ancient scripts, which are another barter item for your items. Advancement. Legendary items. I know, a lot of the word item. So now, that's the main thing that you're going to do. And as you can tell, it's got classic legendary items can no longer be slotted, modified, or advanced. They may still be equipped and used, and Appraisal will give you the currency that you can spend at the Tracery library in Rivendell to advance these new items. So we're going to go into Rivendell. We're at Rivendell. We're the last homely house. Hop into there. You are going to go upstairs on the left side, which is the north end of the building. One staircase. Turn all the way around, and it's going to be at the end of the hallway over here. On the second floor. So then you're going to be in this big room with basically a ton of barters. And it's sadly like what they did in the beta, in the beta test in the Borgor server. However, it is, I think it is a good idea for them to have done this. So you have all your LIs, right? Unfortunately, they're all just, it's going to pop up at level 45. So what you want to do is you want to find your class and the kind you want, right? It's in alphabetical order here. Captain, 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 Champion, Champion, Champion. And it's going to say cannot use with effect Traceries Bard, right? Don't worry too much about that. I'm going to get... I am my champion. I'm going to get my sword. My one-handed sword. And yeah, blah, blah, blah. And then I'm also going to go down to class items. I want my champion's rune. Okay. So I got that. So I got my new legendary items. And now here's a big problem. You're going to be like, well, what the heck am I going to do with these? I can't equip them. You cannot equip them. Cannot equip with Traceries Bard. So I actually have, one of my legendary items still equipped here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unequip that. And as you can see, I can now put them on. They don't want you being able to mix the LIs. So I'm going to equip you. And I'm going to equip you. And you're going to notice, like, it's level 45. What the heck? That's crap. So what we want to do, talk back to our legendary class weapon item, open the legendary item, and you can reforge them, right? So champions, so I'm going to rename it. What are we going to name it? YouTube? And it does cost a crap ton of gold, right? So you're going to want to have some money. You want to be prepared for this, like I wasn't. I have a bunch of gold on my other characters. So that's how you're going to get here. That's what you're going to do to swap your LIs. You've got your money. You've got your new LIs. And you need to reforge them. I'm going to open Legendary Item Forge. And I'm going to reforge this guy. My Warden's Sword here. Right, as you can see, no legacy was upgraded or added to this item. But now you have a bunch of slots. I'm going to slowly go through these. You're going to want to open up your character tab. And since there are only two ways to get to this menu, and the first one is to grab your item from your slot and drag it to your essence slot here. So I'm going to put it there. Then you have your new legendary item menu. So you get heraldic traceries, word of power, a bunch of word of masteries, and then word of craft. Masteries are equivalent to your legacies. Your craft and your heraldic are stat bonuses. So those are like your relics. Words of power are cool extra bonuses. So allow me to pull up my javelin, which I worked on. So here's what we have. A stat bonus. And then our words of power. Area effect target count. And a morale multiplier. Then here are my legacies. So I've got hearing over time. Oh, sorry, that's another word of power. You get a third word of power on your class item. I forgot to mention that. And then you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these of your legacies on each weapon. And then here's your 2 crafted. Right? And so, for example, like Ascended Light, to get that set bonus for that light type damage, you need to have the same one twice. And so we go back onto our sword here. Right? We have just a bunch of empty slots, right? We have 2 words of power, a herald, and then the craft is the one that is that extra bonus, the percentage bonus. So these are all of our class traceries. So I'm going to find my warden. Warden traceries are here. And then there's a couple ways to do this. The best way, as it seems so far, is to not go straight for the blues, but actually grab the yellows and the purples if you have yellow and purple of these enhancement runes. So I'm going to go to the proper level, which currently right now, if you're level 130, is actually going to be 121. So we get our uncommons, our second page uncommons, and our rares, which are purple. And so I've got a bunch of purples, so that's perfect. Now, what do I want on my sword? So I have all my tanking stuff here on my shield, right? So my self-healing, gambit healing, life tap damage, defiant challenge return, resolution. So what do I want? So now I have these in my inventory, and I want to equip them. So you can right-click them, hit apply, right? It'll let you pick. But what it will do is you have to drag it in there. So and drag. So now I have okay, just lagged. So now I have all my things in here. My legacies from my weapon. That's what I want, all that good stuff. But I still got all these empty slots here. So now we're going to go into the other room over here, where we have our words of power, our heraldic, and our craft. So I want my heraldic. I'm going to go to my purple again, my rare page. And here, I'll link some of these different here. I'm going to go with these ones give you the nice little descriptions, right? So it says heraldry, offensive might, offensive agility, offensive will, defensive might, defensive agility, right? Healing might, healing will. So I'm my defensive agility here. But I'll compare these here for the rare versus the legendary. And it's the same one of the sparrow. Right, so as you can tell, and this is going to be the same on all of them. It's only a difference in the stats, right? So here's a stat difference, and if I go to, for example, one of my warden traceries, and I go my odd drop maneuver, right? Level 1. And then my 121 legendary. Oh, whoops. My level 1. So those guys are going to be the same, right? It's the stat, the mastery that is different, but the percentage is the same. Now, if you go, when you were to go into the legendary, right, you can see that the damage is different, but that stat bonus is the same. The percentage is different, but the stat bonus is the same. So the color determines the stat bonus. Sorry. The color determines the percentage bonus, the legendary item bonus. Whereas the level determines the stat bonus. So we got our heraldic tracery here. Right, so I'm going to equip that to my sword. Now I want my words of power. Okay, these ones are super cool and unique, I would say. So you're going to want, to pick what kind of thing you like doing, right? So you get all these damage ones, right? So you have area of effect, attack, criticals. Area of effect, attack, damage. Area of effect, healing. Area of effect, healing, criticals. Right? So if you're a healer, you're going to want the area effect healing and the area effect criticals, right? But maybe like that's more of a Bjorning or an RK because the minstrel area effect healing isn't as much. Area effect target count, which is really nice for taunts. So I'm actually going to pop this on my warden here because I like that. As you can see, I already have that on my spear. So I don't need it again because they're unique uses. So you can only have one of the words of power. They're all unique. So I have that and that. So as a warden, right, I might want my evade chance. Makes sense. And then I got a healing over time. So I might want to throw that healing over time in there. Or possibly incoming heal bonus. Let's see what else we got here. Partial evade. Incoming damage reduction, right? That's huge. Ranged attack extension. It raises the range that you can shoot. Ranged healing. Single target criticals. Single target healing. Skill induction speed. So lowers your induction. Incoming tactical damage reduction. Tactical. I'm going to go with that one there. So I'm going to put my evade chance up here. 1.8% evade chance. My incoming tactical damage because I'm a tanky boy. Now see how I bought this one incorrectly? Right? Oh, no. But it disenchants into ancient scripts. So I can right click here and I can disenchant that. Get my 40 ancient scripts. Now, you'd be like, well, you can disenchant these. Why would you, that you buy and you lost it. You can farm these. If you do instances, they drop from chests. Scaling instances are going to be the best because they're going to drop them on your level. So if you were to run, for example, Control J, any scaling instance, right? We're going to go down to our scaling instances. Oops, these are not those ones down there. Right, so you got all of your scaling instances here. These are fantastic to do for these. So you have all your scaling, and they'll drop stuff. Epic battles don't work right now. And ignore the most recent stuff. Right, so all of these are fantastic. You got different raids, 6-man runs, 3-man runs, all sorts of cool stuff that you can be doing to get your thing. So depending if you want to do them solo, right? Like school, that would be the quickest sort of thing to do. You can just run through that a bunch of times. You get 3 chests from it, excuse me. That's a really quick instance with a lot of chests. You can run through that a lot and get 3 chests. And it's a 3-man. And then there's on the reverse where you have like Ost Dunhoth here, where they're just huge, big raids with with a couple chests with some high chances of things. So you got all these different things you can do. I like Bells of Dale. School is really good. Library is really good. Quick instances, and then especially if you got tier 2s that you can do. Right, you can't do tier 2 of school, but if you go to Dol Guldur, you got some tier 2s that you can do. Sword halls, for example, you only get 1 chest, but you do tier 2, you get 2 chests, and you get a challenge. That's going to increase your chance of getting out those higher versions of those Morgul Traceries, the higher tier, the 121, and the legendary ones, by doing higher tiers. And so that's how you're going to be able to get these extra things for barter. Now we got our last one here, which is our Word of Craft, right? Which is, as you saw earlier, there's those set bonuses. Oops, I clicked on the wrong one again. So you get some Empowered Block, right? Bade, Parry, right? They're just stat bonuses. Right, and you got your Ascended Lightning, Ascended Light, Ascended Frost, Ascended Flame. Right, as you can see, it gives you fire damage, tactical mastery, frost damage, finesse, right, crit rating for light, and outgoing heal. So you got all these, and then you have like kind of these different various things here. Which I'm not quite sure. They're really just like stat bonuses. So I'm not quite entirely sure why you would do something over one of the Ascendant ones, because they give you a stat bonus and a set bonus. So I'm still not quite sure about that, like why you wouldn't go for this over these ones up top. There's all that. Those are as max as they're going to go on these. And so here's a cool thing about it. If you were to change one of these, right? You say you wanted to change from tanking like I am to DPS. It keeps the actual slot that you have on your legendary item, right? So this slot, not this heraldry, not this tracery, the actual slot on the legendary item keeps the levels. So you will put in your new thing, and it will be already buffed up to the correct level, to the item 430, right, as I have it here. And that is actually really nice, because then you don't need to waste enhancement runes and, and all, go through all that effort and all that work to deal with that sort of stuff. And so as you can see, it's pretty much like having, based off of your, it's like having an entire other set of armor that you can wear. It is like having an entire extra set of armor when you put these on. Which is pretty crazy, because now I have all of these stat bonuses from my legendary item. Right, I'm sitting there at maximum. I'm sitting there very high on finesse. I'm sitting there very high on my crit. I'm sitting there pretty high on my maxed out on my mitigations and working on my tacticals. I don't have a lot of tactical. But as you can see, it is like wearing an entire extra set of armor. Like you're wearing 2 sets of armor. And that's probably the best part about it. Like you can very much have, is much easier to max out stats and still be very, very strong when you are mixed, when you're mixed like this. Look at these LIs. This is the damage, 3,000 DPS. My old one, half that. Right, 2,600, right? 1,000 more, 2,000 more damage, DPS. That is just sitting there with the new LIs, just the base, and that's not including these other bonuses.